An ABC News exclusive. Michael, you sat down with Vice President Kamala Harris' husband, Doug Emhoff.
Yeah, I did, George. And the second gentleman, he took me on a tour of some of his favorite places growing up. And he opened up about everything from his wife and family to the economy to those childless cat lady comments. With just 46 days until voters take to the polls, second gentleman Doug Emhoff has been on the trail supporting his wife, Vice President Kamala Harris, as she campaigns to be the next president.
This was like an iconic spot in the neighborhood.
Now, the second gentleman is back in his hometown of Matawan, New Jersey, revisiting his childhood haunts. So when you were a kid and you used to sit here at the counter thinking about your aspirations of the future, what did you think you wanted to do?
I think I'd come back here one day as second gentleman. No, it was, we talked about sports. We talked about, what we wanted to do when we grew up. And you can ask my friends, I was like, I want to be a lawyer. I always knew.
But you've always said how special New Jersey is to you. Why is New Jersey special to you?
New Jersey, it's about, loyalty. It's about family. It's about sticking up for each other. It's about being strong, not taking any crap.
There are still a lot of voters out there that said, we need to know more about Vice President Harris. What do you say to them about who she is?
In my DNC speech, I called her the joyful warrior. So it's the joyful part, my wife, the one who's there for our family is going to be there for your families, but she's also the warrior. And I think Donald Trump got the warrior part up on that debate stage. She's somebody who spent her entire life for the people. Donald Trump has spent his entire life for himself.
60 days ago, President Biden made the decision to step aside, and you're thrust into even a brighter spotlight than you were before. So how have things changed for you in the past 2 months?
Oh, not much, No, it's been a whirlwind. And that day when President Biden decided to step aside on the campaign, she got up there and stepped up. Like, we needed a leader, and she stepped into the breach. And it's like she is the best, most badass version of the Kamala Harris who we know and I love very much.
We've heard the childless cat lady quote, and just this week, Governor Sanders of Arkansas said, quote, "My kids keep me humble. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble." How do you react to a comment like that?
Yeah, it's appalling for somebody who is in a position of leadership like the governor to say something so repulsive and so out of touch. Not only on the one, mispronouncing her name, which is disrespectful. She knows what her name is. And then two, as if you need to have your own biological children to be humble, but then to say as if women should be humble. And you can see the pushback even from within her own party, because it's a repulsive thing to say.
Vice President Harris is stepmom to 30-year-old Cole and 25-year-old Ella from the second gentleman's first marriage to Kirsten Emhoff. But it's been something to watch, speaking of family, to see your kids step up, to see your ex-wife step up.
Yeah, we roll hard together. That's who we are. And, Kirsten has been incredible. When you attack Kamala, especially on issues about motherhood, Kirsten has just been out there each and every time just to tell the truth about who Kamala is as a mother, as a person, as a member of our family, again, who's always there for us, and she's going to be there for your family.
And so when it comes to running a country and some of the problems out there that need to be solved, that need to be seen, what do you say to those who say, how is she going to be different from what we've seen with President Biden?
So on the economy, we're going to continue to expand, infrastructure, the CHIPS Act, bringing the chips manufacturing in here, this transition into clean energy. And on the infrastructure piece, you're seeing the effect just driving around the country, bridges, roads, tunnels, airports, broadband. So all that is going to continue and expand. She's also talking about specifics that are going to help everyday Americans with more housing, child tax credit, opening small businesses.
So for those who may criticize and say, well, she hasn't done that in her 3.5 years in office as vice president, do you think that's unfair?
Yeah, she's the vice president, not the president. So, you know, the vice president is there as part of the administration, not leading the administration. So, as president, she's going to be able to put forth her policies and plans and effectuate those.
And if you become first gentleman, what would that say about, you know, defining the gender role and about masculinity?
A man supporting a woman and lifting up a woman, it's the right thing to do. And when some woman succeeds, it's not like some man somewhere is not succeeding. There's like this binary thinking where it's either or. No, it's both. When we lift up women, we lift up all of society. You
worked as years as a litigator, and you actually worked a case for my company back in the day. So what is it like for you to take a break from a career that you not only excelled at, but how was it for you to find your new identity in all of this?
So I miss it. I miss it. There was a lot of action in it, but being able to be second gentleman and hopefully first gentleman, you know, there's so much to do. And so it really was a way to satisfy that curiosity I have, that work ethic.
The work ethic he says he learned growing up here. So how did it feel to come back to the house?
Oh, man, it's so surreal.
Memories from his past still visible today.
My brother Andy did this on this light post, and this has now been there for 40 some odd years. And so he did the AE and this. So he asked me to look. Andy, I'm looking. It's still there, brother.
As he looks toward the future. And we know that you and the vice president are turning 60.
No, don't say that.
I know. Do you have any plans for that?
Yeah, win the election.
So, Michael, is he a Giants fan?
He is a Giants fan. He is a Giants fan. We can make that very clear from the beginning. I asked him that before. But he was very open and honest, George, and just how he felt, is what he put out there. So I had a great time hanging out with him yesterday down at his old hunting ground in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Great.
Yeah, it
Great.
did. Interesting conversation. Thank you, Michael.